Yeah. Elevation Nation Conversations, God, Body, Sean, that's me, I'm here. Let's get to it. I ain't been here in a minute. You know, let's keep it real. I'm a grown man. I got shit going on. I'm in school, studying for these certifications in IT. I'm working. I'm a single father, building building another business. So I just ain't got the time to be doing this shit. I don't even really keep up with a lot of this, but every now and then I tap in and check in and see what's going on, and I see some stories, and it just kind of sparked me to think a little bit. And I saw this SOULJA BOI case. SOULJA BOI was being sued by a female assistant that he hired, and then he started having sexual relationships with and all that, and shit went wrong, and he started doing essay stuff, and now she's suing him, and she just won the case. And when I looked at it and I saw it, I said, this is really about to be the downfall of just rap music. They about to completely change all this shit. You got a lot of these dudes going to jail for or being prosecuted and things like that for RICO cases, sexual assaults, just all type of dumb shit, and they not understanding the situations. They not understanding the repercussions of their actions and how they moving. I was in the music industry, not to the level of a lot of these artists and things like that. But well, you know what? We'll talk about that, a little later. But right now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the SOULJA BOI case and see what he's saying and what he's speaking about, after his verdict in the case, and I'll come back and give y'all my take on it. All right, so let's get to it.
Think about the verdict.
Today, I stand before you deeply disappointed in the verdict delivered in my case. I firmly believe that the decision made in court was not based on facts or substantial evidence, but rather on factors that were outside of my control. The truth was overshadowed by the involvement of individuals such as the jury who were not present during the events in question. And I feel that the system allowed external influences to shape the outcome. Furthermore, the use of Jane Doe as the identity of the accusers raises serious concerns about fairness. Keeping these individuals anonymous while I'm forced to face public scrutiny creates an unequal playing field. I believe this entire process has been tainted by a system that is not designed to protect the rights of the accused. I want to make it clear that I'm innocent. This case was never about justice. It was about money and personal gain, and I would not let that stand. I am committed to filing an appeal and fighting for the truth to be revealed. I will continue to stand by my decision and believe that I did not commit the crimes I'm accused of. Thank you to everyone who has supported me during this time. I promise that I will fight until the end to clear my name and expose the truth. Thank you.
I'm so sorry. Would you mind repeating the first three sentences?
Today, I stand before you deeply disappointed in the verdict delivered in my case. I firmly believe that the decision made in court was not based on facts or substantial evidence, but rather on factors that were outside of my control. The truth was overshadowed by the involvement of individuals such as the jury who were not present during the events in question. And I feel like the system allowed external influence to shape the outcome.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, y'all. That was SOULJA BOI reading a statement that I don't even think he believed. You can see when he was reading that shit, he didn't believe that shit, and he think this shit is a joke. He think this shit is a joke. It sounds to me like that young man did that to that young lady that was his assistant, whatever. He guilty as fuck of it, and he still don't want to accept accountability. I think a lot of these dudes, man, were raised with single parents, maybe no fathers in the household, nothing like that, because they don't got no respect about themselves and couth and just wisdom. They doing dumb shit. And SOULJA BOI is not a fucking kid. SOULJA BOI is in his late 30s now, and he doing shit like this. How do you get to a position in life where you come from nothing, you make it to a level where now you got money to change yourself, your circumstance and situation, your families, and you can start helping generations. And you out here getting cases and caught up because of rape, sexual assault, SA. So this is a young female assistant that he hired, and she was his assistant. He was paying her to be his assistant. Then, number one, he started messing up the business because now he mixing business with personal. He started having sex with the assistant. And you know you can't do that. Off the back, if you are a employer, you cannot be fucking with an employee because it could go all the way left field, and now they can accuse you of using your position of power to take advantage of them sexually, mentally, and all of that. You can't do it. And the more I see these rappers, man, the more I realize that one, America is trying to take the rap game down. They trying to kill it. Not kill it, but they trying to, I don't know, muffle it. They trying to suppress it because too many of these young black brothers are making money that changes their lives, changes their generational lives, their situations, and they not moving correctly. They're not moving correctly. They still trying to live like they in the streets or running like they running on a street code in the street. The streets is dead. There is no street code. All these niggas is telling. They've been telling for all, you know, since back in the day for the mafia days. There is no fucking street code. All these niggas tell to get themselves in a better situation. I know because I'm 50. I was in that dumb street shit when I was in Chicago. And I saw it firsthand. I said, man, ain't no motherfucking street code. Don't none of this shit lead to nothing. And I'm not knocking it and I'm not judging it because when you living in those impoverished situations where a lot of times, you know, the household is not making money or, you know, there's not a lot of education going on in the household, so not a lot of people are making money and able to take care of the family. You have to survive where you're living at. So a lot of young men, they join the gangs just in order to survive in that environment, in order to live and eat in that environment, and they need protection or whatever. Because you got to survive. You're in the midst of a jungle. You got to survive. You're amongst some lions. You know, some of these motherfuckers are crazy. They don't care. They ain't got no sense. So if you're halfway sane, you have to survive in that. So you got to do what you got to do to survive. So a lot of them fall victim and you know, go into that lifestyle, and it's not really them. But now some of them, they get blessed and they make it out to do music, and they still want to act or conduct and carry themselves like they still in the streets or live in those situations, and it's not that. When I was in Chicago, man, and I started doing music like in 99, 2000, I had sent some music off to LA with Suge Knight and them, and he sent me a letter back. I think he was locked up at the time. So I sent some music to the company, then I wrote him while he was locked up in jail. He sent me a letter back saying his people heard the music, whatever, you know, come out there if I'm ever out there, whatever, and we could try to have a meeting and maybe do some or whatever. But me wanting to get away from that bullshit in Chicago and that gang life and just no opportunities, I took that as saying I'm finna go out there. Long story short, I get out there, things didn't go how I thought, so I decided to stay out there. Now I'm out there to do music. I'm from Chicago. I'm in LA. This is not my city, not my home, not whatever. So I'm out there to do music. So I'm not out there on no rah-rah shit. I'm not out there on no gangster shit. I'm not out there trying to rip and run like I'm running nothing. I'm doing music. But when I got into the music game, I started meeting people like Yuck Mouth. I met Shock G. I met Napoleon, which is Muta from the Outlaws. And I met them and I was like, okay, cool. But just me moving around LA in that industry and trying to do music and going to different studios and this and that, I saw a lot of dudes that was still trying to run that gangster persona and talk about this and talk about street shit. And I'm looking at them like, man, where I come from, that's a no-no. Like, you ain't talking about nothing you doing in the streets, or you ain't talking about none of that, especially on record. Nigga, that's telling on yourself. That's self-snitching. And I was like, at that moment, I saw it. First, all of this shit is fake. A lot of it's a facade. And a lot of these niggas don't got no common sense. No structure, no discipline, no, really not using a lot of the wisdom. And it just made me look at the whole music game a whole different way. And that's when I knew, when I said, damn, this shit really ain't for me. I'm built different. I'm built different. I don't want to get up here and fake no facade about being the toughest nigga, this, and that. I don't want to do none of that. I'm doing music. I'm trying to get away from selling dope, from not having nothing, from being in situations with gunplay and all that shit. I don't want to be around that shit no more. I'm doing music. I'm elevating, man. And I didn't understand that a lot of these niggas didn't, or I don't know. I can't process how they thinking and what their process was, but I just didn't understand it getting on record talking about this bullshit. It's like with a lot of the young dudes now. Whether they did the crime for real or not, or they just talking, capping, rapping just for, just because it sounds good. But if they doing crimes and they doing murders or they committing hits and then they getting on record rapping about it, what makes them think that law enforcement won't put that shit together and come wrap their ass up or come give him a RICO case like they just gave the Big U? He going through something. They giving a RICO case to Lil Durk. He a millionaire, multi-millionaire, and he supposedly, I don't know, he's still going through the case or whatever, but he supposedly paid somebody to put a hit on the dude that killed his man. You got another young dude, Yellow Beezy. Now they giving him a RICO case because he supposedly paid somebody to hit one of the dudes he was beefing with in music. You got and the story goes on and on and on and on of rappers locked up, fighting murder cases, fighting RICOs. Young Thug just beat one. Another Atlanta rapper, YFN Lucci, I think he was locked up for a RICO. They was trying to put one on him. And they got more coming. Because you gotta look at it, man. The DAs and the prosecutors, they looking at it like these young brothers are making more money than them with law degrees and shit like that. And they out here just running reckless with it. I mean, I understand that you ain't never had, that type of lifestyle, that type of money, but you gotta realize you still in America. There's rules and regulations, there's laws and things you gotta live by and conduct yourself by. You cannot run around here doing what the fuck you wanna do just because you got money. You cannot talking about you putting a bag on somebody's head and somebody hit it and now they go, you can't do that shit. And it just baffles my mind that these young dudes don't understand this and they don't get it. They don't get it. And I'm looking at it like, man, they finna flip the whole rap music industry. In a minute, you ain't gonna be able to make no money with music, not rapping like that and putting out personas like that, because they putting cases on everybody. They trying to put one on Lil Baby now. So I don't think a lot of these rappers understand that when you get into the game and now you got a crew of your dudes that ain't doing music with us, but you calling it a gang, this is YSL gang or this 4PF gang or whatever. Now that's called gang activity. So now you giving the police and the feds or whatever, you giving them the ability to, tie you to illegal shit and street crimes and shit like that and knock you out the box. And they looking and they waiting. They dropping cases on these young brothers, man, like it ain't nothing, man. This is the same COINTELPRO type of thing that they did with the fucking Black Panther movements and things of that nature. They started infiltrating the Black Panthers, man, started setting up shit with, buying guns, or like with Jeff Fort in Chicago. They started infiltrating his gang and now they buying guns from the feds and they setting up hits and doing this and doing that. Now they got you. Now they fucking got you, man. And these rappers don't understand and see this shit. A lot of your mans, them, they got cases. They fighting cases and they'll tell on you or tell some shit that you doing in order to get some time knocked off of their case. Because they don't got nothing to lose they don't got nothing to lose. They're not making money like you. They just part of the crew. You might pay them a little dust or this and that, but they really ain't got no opportunity. So they said, fuck it. They still in illegal shit, and now they gonna tie you into it. And to be honest with you, I see why Jay-Z don't fuck with a lot of these dudes, man. Jay-Z got out the game. Jay-Z said, man, look, I'm not fucking with a lot of y'all cats, so I'm fucking with y'all with a 10-foot pole. Keep my distance. You dig? Man, God Body Sean, man, I'm dropping some jewels, man. Hit that like, share, subscribe button. I gotta start being more consistent with it. Dropping these videos, but when you got real shit going on, it's kind of hard to get to these videos. I'm a single father, man. I'm in school. I'm doing boot camps, man. Getting into the cyber field. I'm building businesses. So working, you know, I'm working a 9 to 5. I ain't really got time to get on there and do videos like this, but I see a lot of these videos and I be like, damn, man, another one. They just getting them, locking them up. And ain't none of the OGs or nobody in their crew or entourage is telling them real shit. Like, look, man, we ain't on that. Like, nobody in Lil Durk's crew or even his dad. Lil Durk's dad is an OG. I think Lil Durk's dad is a little older than me. He did prison time. At no time did his dad say, look, son, you need to check your crew who you surrounding yourself around, man. You can't be doing shit like this because it's going to get you locked up. You can't slide for Vaughn. There's no way you could try to pay anybody to slide for Vaughn or do any dirt to him without it being linked and coming back to you. You too big now. You got too much money. The other dudes that, you know, that y'all so-called doing it for, it don't work. They'll wind up telling. So it's best to leave that shit alone. That's your man. Hey, he was in the game. He was doing bullshit. He got taken out, and that's just what it is. You can't do nothing about that. Niggas are not growing. That's what it is, man. Niggas are not growing and developing. They not growing and developing. They still want to be on GD shit. They still want to gang bang. They still want to be on gangster shit or try to run with that persona, and it don't work. It don't work, man. And I'm willing to bet, man, before this summer out, they gonna hand out a couple more Ricos or a couple more indictments until they get one. That's what they trying to do. They trying to get one. They trying to get one to stick, and then that's gonna show all these other rappers like, look, I better chill that shit out, man. We got smoke for y'all. We gonna be locking y'all ass up. You know? We gonna be locking y'all ass up, man. Shit just don't work. You can't try to do crime and stay legit at the same time. It never worked. They cancel each other out. That negative and that positive, it can't exist in that same space like that at one time. So you can't be doing music, you can't be making money, making legit money, doing shit legit, and you still doing, you know, trying to, you know, do hits or trying to do drill and, you know, sliding for your mans. The more you got people around you doing that shit, because it will ultimately rub off and hit you with it. Look at 50 Cent, man. 50 Cent getting paper. 50 Cent ain't fucking with no shit legit. 50 Cent might troll you on YouTube and say some say some little jokes and cracks or something like that. But other than that, 50 ain't trying to hide Tony Yayo and all of them go slide for him and do this and do that. You done move past that shit, man. You know? So, I don't know, man. These young dudes, man, they got to get a little bit of wisdom about themselves, man, and realize they watching you. You on a world stage. Ain't no way in the world you could be rapping about certain shit and still trying to pull it off and do it. It just don't work. It's time for a change in the game, and that's what they about to bring about. They about to bring about a change. In a minute, you're gonna see white boys. It's gonna be rap. It's gonna be all white boys and shit. They trying to lock all the brothers up, man, and I hate to see this. You know, we got to start being more wise with our decisions and what we choose to say and how we moving and what we doing. A lot of these dudes is grown ass men, but they still trying to live like young boys. NBA YoungBoy, he just got out of prison for a couple months or maybe a year or so. Blessed. These niggas got to start moving different. If you get money, man, hire you some security that's legally and legit to carry and protect you. That ain't sucker. That don't mean you scared. That don't mean none of that. That mean you wise and you try to protect your assets, which is you and your money. That's what it is. So a lot of these dudes, man, they not thinking correctly. They don't have a good support system around them that could, you know, pull their tails and nah, man, you know, that ain't what's happening. You know, that right there ain't gonna lead to shit. You know, so you got a lot of these young dudes, man, getting locked up, man, for nothing, and they getting to the money. They able to get to the money with the music, and they not really handling it correctly. Like, it's crazy. I don't understand it. So, SOULJA BOI don't even believe this himself, man. He think this shit is a joke. A lot of these niggas think it's a joke until you end up losing all your money and you back broke. But it's not just rappers. It's entertainers. It's athletes doing just dumb shit. You know, got a lot of athletes, man. They never had women until they got money. They get money. Now they want all the women. Now they get the women. They getting the women pregnant. And now the women really don't want to fuck with them like this. So now she just got a bag out you because now she got pregnant. So now she got you for 18 years of child support. What's that young dude? I don't know who he played for. I don't really be following it like that. I think his name is Anthony Edwards. This nigga getting him and Zion. What's his name? Zion Williams or something like that. I don't know if I got his name right. I don't follow basketball like that. But these young dudes are getting hundreds of millions of dollar contracts, and they fucking with thoughts off of Instagram. They dealing with Instagram thoughts and IG thoughts and porn chicks just so they can fuck, and they getting caught up, possibly losing contracts, endorsement deals, having kids with these women. Now she got you for 18 to 20, 21 years of child support. And yeah, they might say the little slick thing. What's the little slick rebuttal that they all say? You know, it ain't tricking if you got it. It don't mean nothing. I got 100 million. Me giving her a little 2 million ain't nothing. But these dumb niggas, man, that's still a sucker and a simp route. Instead of you having control of yourself, or just being wise, not having children with these women. You know, you can play, but don't stay. If that's what it is, you can play, but don't stay. And they getting caught up. So they just throwing bags away. And then they start whining and crying like, what's the dude that was with Tiana Taylor? Amani Shumpert or something like that. Now, first, they talking about, he had a video interview where he was saying, you know, if we dating you, we don't want you for your money. We know we got our own bread. We taking care of this and taking care of that. With Tiana Taylor, when she divorced him, now he crying. She took this house, she took that property, she took this car, she took that car. I can't see my kids. She getting too much money on child support. Now they want to play no, come on, man. A lot of these dudes got brothers out here looking bad. A lot of these dudes that's in the entertainment industry and the sports industry, man, they got brothers looking bad, man. And it's wild to me. You know, they get blessed to get to the money at a high level like that, and then they get taken out by having no dick control. How are these dudes not having no dick control? They catching rape cases. They having women getting pregnant by them. You know, putting them on child support. That's wild to me, man. And I mean, a lot of rappers are doing that. A lot of NBA athletes are doing that. And it just don't make sense to me, man. It don't make sense. But, you know, hopefully, man, these young dudes, man, these brothers start learning, man, to protect your wealth, protect yourself, protect your assets, and just start moving with more wisdom. You know? Check yourself, man. You know, you're a grown man. Start moving like a grown man. You know, handling grown man business. Do what grown men do. You know, or if not, you'll find yourself like Ocho Cinco. He dodged the bullet. He's about to get married. I don't even understand what they getting married for. Date her. We can date. We can hang out. We can go do shit. But what are these dudes getting married for? You 40-something, almost 50. She 40-something, almost 50. Gang of kids. What you finna marry her for? When she found out that she really didn't fuck with him like that, once she got her bag up, she was out the door. She was gone. She wasn't rocking with him no more. So, I don't know, man. Elevation Nation Conversation, man. God Body Shine. I'm just dropping game. And I've learned some things in my life, man. I've run a company. I've had employees. I've had up to 5 employees at one time. I was doing music, you know. I've read a lot of books, so a couple books. So I got a little bit of knowledge and a little bit of game. You know, I've done music, so I got some shit to speak on, man. But a lot of these dudes, I don't get it. They're not using their head. They out there moving reckless, and they just moving reckless and careless. So use a little bit more wisdom, man. But this court system is not a game. Whether it's child support, criminal court, any of that, man, it's not a game. They gonna hit you brothers for your pockets. They gonna take your wealth and they gonna leave you destitute. Now you gotta rebuild, and it's not easy to build and rebuild. It's not. Once you get in that situation where you get that money like that, it is not that easy to just turn around and just rebuild that shit. So, salute to them brothers, man. Elevation Nation Conversations, man. God Body Sean, man. Hopefully, some of these brothers start waking up and realizing they targets, and don't make yourself a bigger target, man. Start moving better. But I'm gonna check y'all on the next one. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Like I said, Elevation Nation Conversations, God Body Sean, man. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. All right, peace.